No, not at all. I think first of all, I think it is absolutely going to be clear that your handheld device is going to be your most personal computer. It will have capabilities far beyond your imaginations, and the work that we're doing right now for portable devices they're going to be miracles. You guys are going to love it. I hope you guys love it. And so I have all kinds of aspirations from a technology perspective. What I'm most afraid of is people just don't care. Consumer apathy, customer apathy, being good enough is the greatest danger of all for all businesses. And so I hope that it doesn't happen. And it's our job to come up with that next incredibly surprising, incredibly delightful, little experience that people say, I gotta have that. It's our job to do that.
I guess from a marketing perspective, considering I'm a marketing major, how does NVIDIA shape its strategy in light of all these rapidly changing technology and what's available out there?
Mm-hmm.
You've mentioned partnerships and how you have relationship with all the developers and not just games, but also like other mobile devices and stuff.
Yep.
Does NVIDIA do direct marketing or not? And does NVIDIA have plans on reaching the consumers directly? And also, what about new markets? I know that it started out here in the US, but everybody knows global boundaries are just dissipating really quickly. So how do you, in light of all the competition that's arising also from China, the new market there, where does NVIDIA see itself in terms of marketing itself and also in terms of expanding its market share?
Okay. You asked a question that was, there were two sides of that question. I want to dissect it just a little bit. There's marketing, and then there's marketing, okay? And so the first part of marketing is in fact the most important part of marketing, which is what unarticulated customer needs will there be? The most important thing about marketing, as it turns out, is to try to figure out what problem to solve. What should you go build? What should you create? And that knowledge comes from a lot of different places, and one of which is market research is certainly helpful. Talking to your customers are helpful. Talking to your existing end users are helpful. But the thing that I find the most helpful, two things: sensibility. Modern sensibility. When I first started the company, I was the youngest CEO of high tech, semiconductor high tech. I think I'm still one of the youngest. But at 44 years old, you're starting to look a little bit ancient. I'm a little dinosaur-ish, okay, for the Steve Chans of the world. And so how do you keep that sensibility? Well, I'm really lucky. I think I'm lucky because I have two very, very hip kids, and and they give me that sensibility. My kids, oh my gosh. We created a website. We created a MySpace page. NVIDIA did. And so we're trying not to be too corporate, and we're trying to keep it nice and rough. And I sent a copy over to Madison, my daughter, and she comes back with this page of criticisms. Okay, like, man, you guys.
Where have you been?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, it was harsh. It was hard. It was hard to listen to. But she was right, and so I forwarded quickly to our corporate marketing team, who is off. Now we're going to spend $100 million addressing her needs. So sensibility. It was my kids that taught me about YouTube. It was my kids that taught me about MySpace, years ago. So sensibility. The second one is intuition, and you can't have intuition and inspiration without trying to be part of today's world. You just have to keep bringing yourself back and not think about yourself as a high-tech executive, and you've got to make yourself relevant. And so, notice I don't wear a tie anymore. That's too yesterday. And so there's the other side called marketing yourself. We don't do a whole lot of end marketing, although I may consider it. The best way that I believe in branding ourselves is to have a unique perspective, to keep that promise, irrespective of what's happening in the world and what's happening to you. We have always kept our promise to the consumers that we targeted, and our promise has been unambiguous. They know exactly where I'm coming from. They know exactly what we stand for. They know exactly what they get when they buy our products, and irrespective of profit margin, irrespective of NVIDIA's share price, irrespective of the competition, irrespective of all of the challenges that I can imagine, we never ever deviate from that promise. And I think that that's what great brands do. That's how we market ourselves.
I'm being told we have one last question. What has been your greatest mistake professionally, and how did you bounce back from it?
I've made a lot of mistakes, as it turns out, and all of my mistakes were founded on good first principles. They just weren't. They didn't turn out the way I thought. Initially, NVIDIA's product was ill-conceived. I know why I did it that way, but I didn't have the skills of building successful products, and so I made a variety of mistakes. There was a very large investment that I made with programmability. And if you go back and think about computer graphics, it was created by scientists for scientists. And the way that the graphics looked, it looked exactly the same. Everybody's graphics from every single workstation company in the world looked exactly the same. They all used Garot shading, or they all used Phong shading. These are mathematically precise algorithms that causes every single image to look identical. About 6 years ago, 6 years ago, made the decision that NVIDIA is really about creating an artistic palette for artists to express themselves. And we have to make sure that it's possible for everybody's ideas to look different. That everybody's imagery can look different, so that they could express themselves artistically and bring their imagination to life. That investment cost NVIDIA's bottom line about $200 to $300 million per year, and for all of you who watched NVIDIA stock over the years, it went from $80 to $7 overnight, and it was because of an investment that I made, a decision that I made, and in retrospect, I think I could have made the same mistake, but with more grace maybe. I might have been able to manage through all of the financial challenges, but I kind of brute forced it through the system, and the net result of that is the industry has fundamentally changed, and Jen-Hsun's education in finance has been substantially improved. Now, it did cost that education. I could have spent $100,000 to go to MBA school, but it cost $500 million. But but you know, easy come, easy go, and but we're here, and so I think that a lot of it has to do with just the continued education of my business acumen, continuous education of my leadership capability. But the way I rationalize it, Bernie, is investing in NVIDIA means, and investing in our company partly means investing in the CEO, and that's okay, to the extent that our employees allow me that privilege, and to the extent that my board and the shareholders allow me that. It all gets worked out, and as a result, NVIDIA is a better company.
Well, it's been a terrific session. I want to thank Jen-Hsun very much for sharing his life, for being so open, and sharing his vision with us. It's been an honor and a privilege, Jen-Hsun.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you, Howard.